Welcome back. This is Davishie Blue with Perfectly Powerful Peace, and this is the second training in your course, Engage Your Empowerment. We're engaging our empowerment to move away from other people's narcissistic ways and into our empathic ways. In this training, we're going to talk about ANTS, negating the negative. What are ANTS? Guess? ANTS are automatic negative thoughts. Did you know you have automatic negative thoughts? Some people call it negative self-talk. They're automatics. We all have some core beliefs about ourselves that usually came about in childhood from something happening, perhaps in a constant, consistent way, where we made it mean something about ourselves and about how we can relate to the world. Our automatic negative thoughts come out of that. I'm not good enough. Nobody likes me. I'm not enough. I'm not lovable. You can't depend on people. There's so many, right? So how do we counter automatic negative thoughts? You got ants going through your brain, crawling up there, bothering you in a constant and consistent fashion. Where's your peace of mind? Where's your joy? And if you have people outside giving them to you, you're this, you're that, it's very difficult. So I'm going to do a little screen share, one of my favorite things to do. This will just be brief. And we're going to look at, if I can find it, and it's not that, it is this. I'm going to pull it up fully. So, move myself out, put this down and away. Do you need to reclaim your peace and joy? Because it's an inside job, folks, it's an inside job. End your ANTS, automatic negative thoughts, with the double positive, powerful, positive thoughts, right? That's how we're going to end up shining our light, because if you're being who you want to be and that's shining out, then you're going to be drawing people to you who are not narcissistic, that are more empathic and full of joy and want peace for you. Listen, I don't like to look at this picture. I don't like the creepy crawly. But such as it is, if we're looking at what are my automatic thoughts, this is a good thing to write down. What do I automatically think about myself, others, especially particular people, and the world, and my relationships to them? I'll never find love. Nobody likes me. I have to be this way for people to like or love me, etc., etc. With those running in a constant fashion, they steal your light, your love, your joy. So this is, as I said, as an inside job, our responsibility. If you want to have, wholeness and completeness, that full integrity of authentically creating your world, and these thoughts are getting in the way, they're bubbling up, they're leaking through, they're presenting themselves, they can undermine and sabotage your good intentions and your spiritual intentions to uplift yourself and others, even if they're not really conscious. They're like subconscious little whispers. They come up. People see it in your face and your expressions. They feel it in your energy. You may not feel good either. So to end your ANTS, if you stop something in the mind, a tendency, maybe a habit of thinking negatively, and you don't replace it with something very likely that's just going to come right back and start over again. It's in a groove, it's a habit, it's not groovy, but to end your ants, first you have to be aware of them. Like, why don't I feel good? Why am I feeling stressed? You know, it may start with something outside, a reaction to someone or something. Very often, a thought can start with, it shouldn't, they shouldn't, I should, I shouldn't, they should. It can start with shoulding on yourself and other people. Because from our own personal, individualistic, 1 of 7 billion people's perspective, that's just the way the mind and the ego works. It's our perspective. Nobody else is in here looking out through our eyes, feeling our feelings. We all want to be happy, and we think we know the best way for that. And things shouldn't be this way. They should be our ideal way, or at least what we feel like we've been working on and creating. And then if you have ants crawling through all that goodness, you know, ants will eat up not just the sugar, anything that's in their way. So all your goodness, we don't want that, right? So in order to shine our light, we need to clear out the way, get out the way. And I made these really big so you can see, like, they can just really be in the way of seeing clearly who you want to be, how you want to be, and for other people to see and feel that also. So I'm going to stop sharing. Here we are. So what are we going to put in the way of that? So if you're writing down, these are my automatic thoughts. This is how they make me feel. There's a couple things you can do. You can do opposite thoughts. So what would be an opposite thought? Everyone hates me. That's that. Everybody doesn't do any one thing except for breathe, and their heart beats and their eyes blink. Maybe they yawn, but everybody doesn't hate you. You are lovable, whole, loving, loved, complete, perfect, and pure. You are. We all are. If you have an automatic negative thought, you can ask the question, is that so? Is that true? Is that right? Why do I believe that? Is that BS? You can call BS. You can also just say, thank you for sharing. I say this to my mind. It's like grinding on something. Thank you for sharing. I need something else now. I'll come back to you if you need it, but just chill. Talk to your mind. Thank you for sharing, and move on to the next best thing, which is, was that really true? Is that really so? You can ask in different ways. You can ask other people. You can ask yourself, is there people that have liked me? So you can take anything, the definites, the extremes. I'll never, I always. Those aren't true, right? These are the ego's scare tactics to keep us involved in the ego. And we want to cleanse that, clear out all those ants, and let that light shine forward. So another thing you can do, as I said, you can look at opposites. So what would be an opposite thought? Because, you know, your mind's going to believe whatever you tell it. Isn't that funny? You tell your mind what to believe. You give another thought to your mind. You start laying down that track. You can do affirmations. You can just speak the opposite. You can do mantras. Of course, you can do more somatic things, like just take a deep breath. Thank you. No, thank you. Add humor. That's not true. I don't believe that. Thanks for sharing, but I got something else to think about now. Or just, hey, stop it. Cut it out. That doesn't feel good. What are you doing? All right, let's do something else. So an opposite, you know, I am so loved by people. I don't even know how many people like me. You can do tapping around it if you know EFT. There's so many things we can do. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, he talks about considering the opposites, and it's a technique to work with your mind that kind of stills and nullifies those automatic thoughts. So I think affirmations are similar to that. Affirmations we like to put in beforehand so that we start our day and we're using them through our day. And we can, when something comes up, we can utilize them. Consider the opposite. I'll never do this. Well, you know, maybe if I do these things first, then that could happen. And it takes you out of a cycle and it puts you back into your breath, your heart, a sense of faith and okayness. You're not holding on. You can start to breathe, lighten up, counter those. But it's a practice. And we'll be talking about a lot of practices that can serve you. And you can have a menu of things you can pull out. As you practice it, as you lay down new pathways for your mind and your energy to go, you will start, you know, uplifting yourself. So have some fun with this. Draw pictures of ants if you can. We go marching one, by 2, by 2, by 10, by 10, and the rain comes down. Boom, boom, boom. Ants go marching. They don't stop. You need to be empowered to deal with them. Recognize them. Stop them from marching. Turn them into something beautiful. Replace them. Get out of your head and into your body. Some deep breathing. Get up and move, even if you just get up for a few minutes while instead of sitting there, you know, focused on something. Just move. Shift your focus. If you're focused on somebody that's, you know, shift your focus. Leave. Most powerful thing you can do is change you. Can't change other people, so change your mind. Change your attitude, change your character, change your destiny. All right. So that's that for this training. Thanks for listening in. And come back for the next video. There will be this PDF that I just had up. So if you wanted to print it out and put up your own, it's like, stop the ants. Negate the negative. Pro on the positive. And help you raise your energy on a daily basis. That would be fine. And then we'll see you in the next training coming right up. Blessings, my lovelies.